Motorola Moto E20 Review. The Moto E20 has an excellent battery life, but its low-resolution screen and slow processor are hard to overlook no matter how good the price is. The real values in the smartphone industry lie somewhere north of the £150 mark. Back when it first launched in September 2019, the Moto E20 became the cheapest smartphone in Motorola's lineup. Now, almost one full calendar month later, this handset remains the company's least expensive offering. With fewer dollars available for consumers than at any time in recent memory, it's worth taking a close look at the Motorola Moto E20. It costs £89.99, which makes it one of the cheapest smartphones available today. Most people don't expect a sub-pound 100 phone to be beautiful, but Motorola knows how. It's why the slightly more expensive Moto lines have been so popular over the last few generations. With its plastic unibody design, the Moto E20 doesn't win any beauty contests, but Motorola has done an excellent job optimizing its limited resources. At 168 by 74 by 7.9 mm and 185 grams, it's solidly in the smartphone sweet spot between not being too thin or too light. Motorola has perfected the art of making seemingly inexpensive phones feel sturdy and reliable. Even though these phones are quite affordable, they're not going to let you down. It looks slightly different from most phones on the market, but it also makes it a bit more slippery. Another feature of the phone's design is its fingerprint scanner. I am accustomed to seeing these placed on the back of the device, or at least under the screen. However, given the low cost of this handset, it is not too much of an inconvenience to place the scanner on the side instead. The only problem I have with the scanner is that it is very slow to unlock the phone. Even though the Moto G5 Plus feels quite good when holding it, the screen isn't anything special. You won't be able to use it for long periods of time without experiencing some sort of discomfort. It has a screen size of 6.5 inches, which is quite big. However, it is not too bright for indoor use, but it may become difficult to see outside under direct sunlight. With a resolution of 720 by 1600 or 720p, Motorola's Moto E20 screen just isn't sharp or fast enough to show high-quality video or web content at anything close to its best. And, needless to say, the screen's maximum frame rate won't be anywhere near 60 Hz. However, since this phone has so few resources, that might actually be a good sign. It seems that Motorola had no choice but to cut corners when making its budget Moto G5s Plus smartphone. However, spending more than £100 for an full HD+ screen would be worthwhile if you can afford it, even though there are plenty of phones with HD screens at lower prices. The Moto E20 has a modestly sized 13-megapixel rear shooter and a 2-megapixels frontal snapper. It's not a big deal if the phone doesn't have a fancy design or some extra features. After all, cameras are the most important feature for smartphone manufacturers. It's nice to see that the Moto E20 isn't bad at all. You won't get any truly excellent photos out of it, but if you're looking for a phone that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, then you'll be happy enough with its performance. That was true for the photos I took in good natural light, at least. They look reasonably sharp and have colors that roughly resemble the scenes as I see them. Skin tones aren't ghastly, and close-ups yield some convincing blur. HDR isn't enabled by default, which is slightly annoying, but it's clear that Apple wanted to give the iPhone X its best shot at looking good indoors. When activated, it actually performs pretty well at brightening and evening out shaded images. As soon as the light drops, indoor restaurant photos aren't nearly as bad as outdoor ones. But at nighttime, even when you're indoors, there's no way to get good pictures without flash. Selfies aren't disasters, but you'll need to watch out for extreme exposures when taking selfies.